Fly me to the moon. Hey there, everybody. Welcome once again to Astronomy Daily Live. And I have to, I've got to make sure I'm not slouching too much here. So, well, welcome. So, hope everybody's doing well. It is 2 hours UTC, and once again, we're here gathering together. You know what I didn't do? I did not pull up my chat. So let me indulge me just for a moment here while I do that quickly. It's not incredibly quick, but you know, I usually take the first few minutes here to sort of ramble about things and let folks come in who are going to arrive when the live stream starts. Hopefully, you know, the notifications are going out and all that is working well. As you can see, I did get my new USB extension cable, and I'm gonna mute that really quick. And there's Mr. Tim Robinson, all the way from the UK. Hey, what's going on? Just popping out my chat. Don't hear you yet, Tim. You must be muted for various reasons. All right, so I think I've got the chat up, and I'm seeing that ERRT Radio is in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to see you there. Nice to be seen. Like I just said, I just got my new USB extension cable, and it's long. Look at this thing. It's just it's like this big long thing, and you know, I don't know if the wires are really thick or anything, but this cable at least has a lot of insulation on it, right? Lots of insulation. That's like 3/16 of an inch, maybe 4 millimeters thick, 4 or 5 or so. So that's a nice substantial cable, and apparently it does work. So I think I'll be in business at least for a little while here. So yeah, cool. Hey, and there's Tom on the panel too. I might as well say hi to all the panelists. So hey there, Tom. He just popped in.
Hey, hey, Cosmic.
Hey, hope everything's well with everybody. So yeah, so there's Tom, and then I'm going to change one vowel and say hi again to Tim. Hey there, Tim. Hey, there you are. Cool.
Yeah, I was setting up a dual screen and doing the mic settings.
Oh, this high-tech stuff. I don't know. I can't follow it all.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. And once again on the panel also is...
Hello to everybody, by the way.
Bobby. Hey, Bobby.
Hey, yeah, it's about time you introduced me, you little desert rat.
Definitely a desert rat, man. When I landed here, 30. Well, it's going to be 32 years that I've been in southern Arizona. The moment that I put my foot down on the ground, I knew that, man, this is exactly where I belong. So yes, I am a desert rat. Proud desert rat.
Daddy rat. You daddy rat.
And there's actually Ottawa in the chat.
Atta. All right. Excellent. Nice to see you in the chat. What? Oh, Sky and Telescope. Cool. Yes. You'll really like it. It's yeah, you know, I think of all the magazines out there, that deal with astronomical things, Sky and Telescope is probably the best. Like Astronomy magazine is okay, but yeah, I don't know why. I've never really liked that one as much as I like Sky and Telescope. So, and if you can ever find any of the older magazines, the older ones, I think Sky and Telescope. Ooh, don't quote me on this, but I think Sky and Tel goes back. Wow, maybe to like the 40s or the 50s, or maybe even earlier. I'm not exactly sure. It's been around for quite a while. So yeah. Well, good. Great magazine. You'll be really pleased with that one, for sure. So yeah, actually, Bobby was asking me in the pre-show about the any future OBS sessions, and I mentioned that those sessions are kind of going to be put on hold. I've got this problem, which sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't happen, and I've actually gotten onto cloudynights.com because that's a really great community over there, and a great resource. You got a lot of people who know a lot of stuff, much more than I do, right? I mean, I don't know anything, right? So I've been having a dialogue with quite a few people over there who are trying to help, and what I'm seeing is sometimes my star images are nice round, just as they should be, points, right? Just nice round things. And then other times it sort of seems to be other nights. I haven't seen it where sometimes they're nice and round, but these other nights they're streaks like that. My first thought is that yeah, there's some kind of like a high frequency wobbling or something, because I'm doing 1 second exposures, right? So really short exposures. Now, the tracking on these scopes isn't great, right? So there is a drift, and it's sort of when you watch these stars moving, right? They'll sort of drift around the screen. They're with my system, there's sort of a tendency to move. I think either down or up, right? So sort of along one axis, right? So and I understand that. I mean, I get that. This is not a $10,000 mount, right? This is a $800 mount or $900 mount, and a $200 or $300 telescope, right? So I don't expect perfect tracking, right? There's going to be some drift, there's going to be backlash, there's going to be all those things, right? And so that's why I limit my exposure times to 1 or 2 seconds, right? That's about as good as I can expect with the kind of drift that I'm seeing. No problem, right? No problem at all. And I've proven, well over the course of a year that 1 or 2 second exposures produces really nice results. but starting sometime early December or so, all the star images became these short little streaks, right? Short little streaks at a position angle of about 45 degrees, which, if this is the mount, then both axes are sort of contributing to that, right? But it's pretty high frequency too, because it's only a 1 second exposure, and I'm getting a moderately substantial streak, maybe sometimes as many as like six or 8 pixels long, right? Which is big, right? So the suggestion is that perhaps it's the collimation, right? And so I looked at the collimation, and yes, indeed, I was out, right? And so I fixed that, and that night I took the scope out, and the images were perfect, nice, round, excellent stars, and I'm like, yes, that fixed it. The next night, which was the night that I was doing the variable star and the asteroid and the globular cluster, I got those same exact streaks, same exact weird-looking long blobs. So I said made up a whole bunch of new words, and being out in the desert, one can do that, no problem at all. And in fact, there's not even an echo, right? So you can just scream as loud as you want. Nobody's going to hear you. So yeah, I'm.
So can the HF wobble be corrected, or you probably need to get yourself a new scope?
Yeah, that is sort of where I am right now. I actually am currently having a dialogue with a guy who has written several books on this scope, just about this scope. So that's about as expert as I can get. He is in contact with one of the engineers at Celestron. So I don't expect them to be like, okay, here, we're just going to replace it, or whatever else. I just want an explanation, right? And right now, with it, sometimes working and sometimes not, and worked fine until a couple months ago, and now it's just sort of like, well, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Don't know. It could be the gears are wearing out. I am pushing the limit in terms of the weight that this mount can handle, and the various torques and stuff. So I am sort of pushing those limits. And apparently these gears are plastic gears. They're plastic gears. So, could that be it? Could be, but why does it work sometimes and sometimes it doesn't? So, yes, I'm talking about Michael Swanson. Yeah, I sure am, Atta. So, yeah, I mean, I think if anybody, is sort of an expert on these things, he most definitely is. So that's where that is at the moment. So yeah, this whole project is sort of on hold now. For my own work, from my own research, I can handle. I think I can handle that kind of weird data. I'm going to have to, evaluate it a little bit, to see what the quality of the results are, right? But doing photometry, it doesn't really matter that these objects are even in focus, right? Now, with extended objects like galaxies or nebula and stuff, doing photometry on those, I really have to have nice sharp pictures, right? But for stellar photometry, it doesn't really matter what the shape of the star is. It doesn't matter as long as I collect all that light. That's all that really matters, right? But this idea of selling telescope time, to somebody else, I'm not going to give them that data. No way. That's they're going to look at that and say, "What is this garbage?" Right? So yeah, that's
You're
just a
talking about
no-go.
selling a telescope, huh?
Selling the telescope? No. I would, given the condition of this scope at the moment, I would definitely not try to dump this on anybody at all, because it's worthless, to anybody else. So yeah, we'll sort of see how all that goes. The story is not done yet, and like I was saying, in terms of my own research and stuff, photometric things and all that, it's still a usable thing, right? But I'm sort of going to be limited in terms of what I can actually do. But so I'm not going to be able, to do galaxies and nebulae, right? I can still do variable stars. I can still do asteroids. I can still do moons and all of that. So there's a lot that can still be done. It's just the quality isn't probably going to be quite as good as I can. And like I said, the right now, sometimes the quality is really, really good, and sometimes it's really, really bad. So I have no idea. Atta, so this is the new member of the family here. This is a Celestron 5-inch. It was gifted to me from a lady who and that's sort of a wild story. But anyway, she knew that I was into astronomy, and she passed away a couple of weeks ago now. And just before she did, she got a hold of me and gifted me this. So it's a great little scope, for sure. Still not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. Probably.
So like about a few days later, she just left the Earth, left planet Earth, right?
Well, so her friend actually transferred this scope to me, right? And on that day, we decided to meet up at 9:30 a.m. right? And so we did the exchange, right? And she went away, so did I. Well, she called me later that day and told me the lady who gifted me this actually passed at 9:30 a.m. So pretty much, the moment that scope went into my hands, she left. So yeah, that was a heavy message. That was a heavy message. So yeah.
It's still heavy to me when I lost my mom about a couple of years back. And
Oh
August of
yeah.
2017.
Yeah. That's always really, really rough. So of course. So
It was also worse. My father never knew me.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you're on your own now, for sure.
Yeah, I still got my uncle. We sometimes might butt heads, but he's still my uncle.
Got some bruises up there? Is that what you got?
I got my skull cap.
Cool. Cool. So yeah, I don't really know what the plans are for this scope yet. Probably what I want to do is get one of those small CMOS cameras or CCD cameras, and I definitely want to turn this into a science scope too. There's some amazing things that can be done, for sure. So
why don't you try getting a DSLR, or that's like too much?
Well, astrophotography is not anything that I'm really interested in. Yeah, taking pictures of things. Yeah, I just that's just not my thing. I like to count photons, right? I'm like the Count on Sesame Street, right? I like to count photons, right? 1, 2, 3. So I'm really into the science, and so just using some kind of regular camera, to do photographic stuff. Not particularly interested in that. And there's a lot of people, that are doing that really, really, really well, and I thoroughly enjoy looking at their stuff because they are experts in that field, for sure.
Couple of notables. We got Uncle Bill Druin just joined, and 9-Inch Coast just joined as well.
Hey there, Uncle Bill and 9-Inch Colas. Nice to see
Uncle
everybody.
Bill Druin was talking about the science at the Sky and Telescope magazine.
Yeah. Sky and Tel, likes to go into depth with things, not sort of journal depth, but they will dive in pretty deep. So yeah, so cool. And yeah, Celestron is a great brand. They've been around for a long time, and their optics are really, really good. I've always thought so. So yeah. So I've got a little friend here, and like I said, I mean, it's going to be certainly turned into a science instrument at some point. But what kind of camera and exactly what I'm going to do with it, I'm not exactly sure yet. Not exactly sure.
Let's stop bitching around. Let's look at the moon.
Well, we can look at the moon for sure. In fact, that's sort of what I was planning on doing tonight. I think it was, I don't remember who yesterday made that exact request.
Well, I forgot too.
Yeah, but that is exactly what we're going to be doing with the Lunar Reconnaissance spacecraft orbiter. They have been mapping the surface of the moon with half-meter precision in terms of the pixel size. So that's very, very nice. And by the way, I am going forward with this puzzle, jigsaw puzzle thing. I actually contacted a puzzle maker today, and they got back to me. And yeah, their prices are extremely reasonable, and I think the quality is pretty high. So I'm going to pursue that. This idea is almost exactly 24 hours old now, so I haven't had a lot of time to think about it. Yeah, I can certainly blame Tim for getting me on that, and I think it's a great idea. And if Tim or like anybody here wants to partner up on that, I'd be honored. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting starting point into something maybe a little bit bigger too. So definitely send me an email if you're wanting to get more involved with that. But probably over the next couple of days, I'm going to get this thing really going into high gear. So, and like I said, I think this might just be something of a small start into something bigger. So we'll see. But just looking around, nobody is really making those kinds of puzzles at all. So yeah, I think
this one somewhere.
Yeah, I just haven't seen a lot. So yeah. Like I said, I'm definitely going to move forward with that. Yeah, I've got to think about it at least a couple more days before I jump. But yeah, I think that could be pretty interesting. So yeah, send me an email if there's any kind of interest in partnering up with that. Because well, I could probably use all the help I can get. So, all right, well, cool. So speaking of the moon, and cheers, by the way, this is the HOH tonight. So cheers.
Faucet water right here. Cheers.
Very cool.
I've got an
very
empty
cool.
Cup, so I'm gonna go and make a
yeah, you've got to fill that up. Now, Tim, that's a pretty good mug, but here I've got a nice. I've got a nice one here, and it's got. See what that says on there? Yeah, corks. And then on the other side, I don't know if you can read that or not. It's sort of out of focus.
Yeah, it's out of focus.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't like small mugs, right? I like big mugs, either big in size or nice and chunky, right? So this is a nice large one that's sort of it's turned into a kiddie water bowl of sorts. So I have to keep this filled, and I don't know if I can. No, okay. Anyway, I have to keep this filled, or I get told that hey, you've got to fill this up.
Fill this up.
So I'm just doing my job, in keeping that nice and full. So all right, well, cool. So let's go over to the LRO site. They have this really cool, sort of like a map a map site that I started to look at a little bit, but I always like to do these kinds of explorations with you all. So I didn't look at this incredibly hard. So let's just go over there, sort of fresh, and let's see what we can see. So I'm going to hide that, sharing my screen, obviously, and I'm going to go over here and here. So this is what they're calling the quick map. And as you can see, here's the near side of the moon. You can also go over to the far side of the moon, like that. It loads eventually, at least. It's a little slow here, but that's all right. So there's the far side. And there's the near side. Let's see if it'll load here. Okay. So cool. So, there are different kinds of projections, of course, including this lunar globe. It's actually a 3D thing where you can rotate it around and everything. Unfortunately, this particular projection brings my potato to its knees. So it becomes mashed potato at that point. So I'm not going to go there, but we can look at the South Pole, right? There's sort of a South Pole projection, which is that, all right? And there's a North Pole projection, which is this one. Oh, I don't know why it moved around and stuff, but there we go. So that's pretty cool, that they have all. Oh, and then they have the cylinder, right, which is just sort of the, I assume it's just sort of the central bit. Yeah. So like that. And of course, this is all the way around, right? So this is going all the way around in sort of a cylinder shape, that they've stretched out. So pretty cool, pretty cool. So let's just stick with the regular sort of view here, I think. Let's do the near side. Now, I do not know my lunar geography hardly at all, right? I know that this big one is Copernicus. I know that this is the Sea of Tranquility here. This is Mercurium. Is that what that's called? So if anybody on the panel knows more of these names, I think Clavius is down here, right?
To my knowledge on that is that big round thing is the moon.
Yeah. That's about as good as I am too. So I think that this is Clavius. And so please, don't quote me on any of these names because I'm just not sure. But I think there might be a layer here to actually identify, and that's sort of this next option here is all of the various layers. Look at that. Geologic features. Yes. So, wow, there's a whole bunch of layers here. I don't know what overlays is. Let's do this first. Let's just sort of, I'm going to zoom in, right? Because, this is sort of your normal view of the moon, right? If you were to get a pair of binoculars, and go out and look, yeah, this is pretty much what you'd see, right? With a telescope, and let's sort of go south here, right? With a telescope, under really good seeing conditions, the atmosphere nice and clear, yeah, you might see that kind of thing, that kind of magnification, that kind of detail sometimes, right? But with the LRO, right, because they're actually orbiting, the moon, and of course are really, really, really close, they can take some high resolution images. So as you zoom in here, you'll see that it sharpens, right? And then it all of a sudden sort of changes to this new view where they have a whole bunch of these, high-res pictures, that they've tried to, stack sort of, as good as they can. It definitely isn't perfect, but yeah, not bad at all. And we can keep zooming in. You can sort of see down here, I don't know if you can or not, but right now the scale is at 32 meters per pixel, right?
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Oh, you just reminded me there as well. I was looking in my favorites, the, I forgot what they call it again now, the online moon atlas.
Oh, cool.
I had it somewhere, and I've just found it again.
Nice.
So I'll check
Nice.
it out.
Yeah.
Bit of
So
learning.
I'm continuing to zoom in here. That's 4 meters a pixel. Here's 2 meters a pixel. 1 meter. And there's half a meter. I think that's as far as we can go. Yeah. So half a meter per pixel. So, let's see if I can zoom in with my screen. Yeah. So can we actually see individual pixels here? Yeah, sort of. They're playing with things a little bit, so it's kind of hard to see. But yeah, a pixel maybe is about like that. So, we're seeing craters that are, 1 or 2 meters in size at the smallest. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. So I'm going to zoom back out here, the screen, that is. So yeah, nice resolution. It's almost as if, we're walking on the moon. And, at this scale, this is about the resolution of the pictures of Mars, that we were looking at yesterday. So sort of get you the same sense of scale here. Lots of craters. Look at all those craters. Wow. All right. Well, cool. So this is I think this is inside of what I think is Clavius Crater. Is that Clavius? No, that's a different one. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So I just sort of randomly zoomed into a crater. Let's so yeah. Let's just let's do another zoom somewhere else. Now I don't remember exactly
I wonder
where.
if you can actually see reels on the moon and stuff. Like
You
in
can
Pluto
see.
Dash, like
Yeah.
reels or
Well, I know that you can see all the landing sites for sure.
yeah.
I don't remember exactly where they landed here, but there might be an overlay for that. But let's just sort of zoom into the Sea of Tranquility here. Actually, here's a long-looking thing there. Let's sort of zoom in on that and see what that's all about. Oh, okay, it's some kind of a groove or a canyon or something. Kind of weird looking, but let's just keep zooming in. Okay, so now the resolution's changed a little bit, so we're getting more details. Not quite sure why it hasn't all filled in. If that's if that's me or it. But let's just zoom in on this finer detail here. See, that's about as far as we can go again. So 0.5 meter per pixel there. So pretty good, you know, pretty nice. And that, you know, that's actually right in the middle of that, whatever it is, groove of sorts. So cool. It sort of looks like either, you know, they don't have any data here yet, or it just is having, you know, a little bit of difficulty loading on my screen. I would think it'd be the latter of those things, but yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. So maybe if I scooch around a little bit, I don't know. As I said, you know, I'm sort of exploring this with you, so I haven't really played with this a lot at all. So it'll be a voyage of discovery for us all. But yeah, you know, craters at every scale, right? And I think CosmoQuest, I think one of the projects that they're still doing, I don't know if they've finished this or not, but I think that they were at least one of the groups who you know, are doing, you know, this citizen science thing to actually count, or yeah, I guess count and measure these craters on the moon. So yeah, I don't know if that is still something, you know, that they're doing, or if they're finished with that. I'm not quite sure, but holy moly, there's a lot of craters here. Lots and lots of craters. All of them are pretty round. Some of them aren't, though. All right, some of them are sort of almost hexagonal shaped. See that? How that's a hexagon. That's sort of a hexagon. So, you know, weird things up there, for sure. And I sort of say up there, which I probably shouldn't. It's out there, right? Way out there.
Hey, Deep Sky Dude.
Hey there, Deep Sky Dude. Nice to see you. I really enjoyed seeing your time lapse. If you all haven't yet, check out Deep Sky Dude's YouTube channel. He's doing some really great production over there. And yeah, he did a time lapse of a star party. I forget exactly where it was, but it was somewhere in Texas, where you know, he basically just set up a camera, and looks like, you know, maybe, you know, he took a several second exposure every few seconds or so throughout like the entire night, and so yeah, you know, you really get a good sense of, you know, the nice dark sky, and also some of the goings on at star parties. You know, if you haven't attended that kind of a star party, where, you know, it's sort of a pretty major one, lots of people there and stuff. Those are really fun, really fun. You get to look through a lot of scopes, and really passionate people. But yeah, you know, they had a lot of planes going over. They had some clouds, but yeah, it was a beautiful sky, though. Absolutely beautiful sky.
Yeah, Patrick just popped in.
Patrick, hey, it's another full house on the panel. All right, I like it. What's going on, Patrick? I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Hello, Mr. Manny.
I don't think he can hear us yet. All right. I will check in with him later. Okay. So what I wanted to do was overlays.
Your
Because-
microphone's mute, Patrick. Your microphone's mute. I can see him talking.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. There we go. I can hear you now, Patrick. Hey, what's going on?
Very little. It's cold. I'm freezing.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell. Oh, you just reminded me of something, Patrick. I need to find out how cold my area is.
Yeah. So you're getting that blast from the north, are you?
Yeah, it's going to be 35 below wind chill.
Holy moly. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well,
Okay,
I guess
air conditions of 43 Fahrenheit with north winds blowing at 5 miles per hour.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually don't mean to rub it in or anything, but here the I think the high today was pretty close to 70 Fahrenheit, and it's supposed to be that I've got clouds and I'm going to get a little bit of rain, but the temperatures are going to be actually really, really, really nice. So yeah, well, hang in there. The nice thing about those things is that they don't last. So, but yeah, that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Just be careful. Be careful. Don't go out unless you have to, for sure. All right, well, I wanted to look at a bunch of these overlays because there's just tons of them here. So let's do that. So let's just see what these overlays are. I don't know what that is going to do. Okay, it's going to open up a new thing. So nomenclature, anthropogenic features. I don't know what an anthropogenic feature is. There's a little eye here. Let's see if we can find out. Oh, man-made objects. Oh, okay. Huh.
Googled it.
Anthropogenic features. Let's turn those on. Ah, so we got a bunch of dots. So let's see if we can zoom in on some of these dots.
One of them might
see what. Yeah, I mean, obviously, some of them are going to be the landing spots.
I was looking at my weather app on my Roku. It says it's going to go down to 37 with a northeast wind to 5-10 miles per hour. It's going to be mostly cloudy as well.
So pretty pleasant down there in Louisiana as well. So there's the Apollo landing site.
But over the weekend, it's supposed to go back to hotness about like the lower 70s. The lows going to about the lower 60s.
Uh-huh.
So you can say code as flip.
Cool. Well,
Swiss Miss hot chocolate.
Yeah.
You're gonna need your fluffy socks as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the location that they have marked of the Apollo 11 landing site, there are certainly objects there, right? I mean, this is as far in as I can zoom. So I mean, there is something there pretty tall, right? I mean, it's casting a shadow that sort of looks like a shadow. All the other shadows look the same. So, but that's a pretty tall object there, right? And then maybe there's a couple other things here, not quite sure. So, I mean, is this, the Apollo 11 landing site? Well, looking at this, I can't be sure of that. But there are certainly things there, right? So cool, very cool. Let's see. let's see what else we have lurking around. You know, I don't know where any of the other Apollo landing sites are. Isn't that horrible? I'm such a
so that's Apollo what?
that's Apollo 11. Yeah.
Apollo. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
That's what they said. Absolutely. I don't know where any of the other Apollo landing sites are, though. Let's see.
You can't see where Apollo 13 is going to be at.
Well, they never.
Or where it was going to land and stuff. Because that probably with the air takes.
Yeah, I don't remember where they were going to land. But here, we're going to just poke around a little bit and see, because it looks like they identify them once I zoom in a little bit. Oh.
Looks like they put a lot of stuff on the moon.
So there's Apollo 15 right there. Let's see if we can see any.
If you were off to get rid of those points, will you be able to see the lander or something?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I did with 11. So this is apparently the landing site of Apollo 15, right? SIVB. I don't know what SIVB stands for, though. And I'm looking at this, and I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing here. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure about that one. Let's see.
It's called this guy says it's a S4B rocket.
Okay. Yeah, that's sort of what I thought, is that I think their third stage rockets slammed into the moon. So that must be the location of that. Thank you very much for that. So here's Apollo 14 something or other. Let's zoom in here and see. Whoop. Okay, so there's
the lunar module.
Yeah, so there is definitely an object there of some sort. And maybe these are tire tracks? I don't know. There's some tire tracks going off this way, too. Wow, they go quite a ways. Quite a ways over. Wow. Did they actually go all the way over here? I don't know. So that was Apollo 14. I'm not quite sure how far they went.
We like to welcome Desiree Thompson and check the chat to see what she said.
Hey there, Desiree. Nice to see you on the chat. We're walking on the moon today.
Check the chat.
Check the chat? Okay, I'm going to check the chat as soon as I can. There we go.
They ever will.
Well, Desiree, if it was me taking that last step, putting my foot on the moon for the first time ever, I would have a little bit hard time with words too. But I think what he did was just great. All that was planned and probably approved and everything else. And if he just sort of mixed them up a little bit, that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, so there's Apollo 14.
I never knew that his cloak was not supposed to be butchered or something, but it was.
What wasn't butchered?
Like the way he said the days when he stepped on the moon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think what he said was extremely appropriate. So I think that That was great. Okay, so there's the anthropogenic features, and that's just stuff that we've thrown up there. Apollo. There's the Apollo 13 rocket body. Cool. Nice. Nice.
And
I
I'd
think
like to welcome Venus and Mars in the chat.
who is that?
Venus and Mars.
Ah, Venus and Mars. Hey, nice to see you again. Great. Great you could stop by. We're just looking at the moon with LRO. And just going through all these layers, there's just this is a pretty amazing site. I don't know, satellite positions. I'm not quite sure what that is. I guess there are satellites going around the moon. There's something. I don't exactly know what that is. I'm sort of clicking on it here to see. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is. Satellite positions. Let's look. Okay, so this is the location on the LRO for the current orbit. Cool. So this is where LRO. Well, we don't know exactly where it is, but it's in this orbit right now. Very cool. All right. Can change the opacity a little bit so you can see underneath it. That's kind of neat. Oh, okay. So the sunlit region. So that'll just show. It should show the phase of the moon, right? So let's see. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So there is the terminator right now. So this part of the moon is in darkness, and this part of the moon is in sunlight. Very cool. Kind of neat. And wow, okay, so that's just the overlays part. there's more. So geologic features, these are probably going to show, yeah, all the craters. So craters larger than 20 kilometers. That's probably a good place to start here. Let's see what that shows. Okay, yeah, that's quite a few. Let's see if we can zoom in on a few of these. And I guess I'm not seeing anything being named though. I'd like to know the names of these dudes too. I'm calling them dudes, but that's a weird kind of designation, huh? Mirror boundaries, Copernican craters. Huh. I was hoping that they would have some names. Because yeah, I don't know the names of hardly any of these. But yeah, there's quite a few craters, obviously, that are greater than 20 kilometers in size, obviously. Some of them, wow. Okay, so they're calling that. Okay, yeah. There's a crater there, of course. Cool.
Oh, Patrick made it just call you a craterous Willis.
Oh yeah. I am. I don't know moonscape at all, right? At all. Something I never got into, really. I know people who know every single name, every single feature, all of it, right? But nope, definitely that is not me at all. So let's see. Here's swirls. Let's see if we can see any swirls. Here's a swirl. They're calling a swirl. What exactly is a swirl? Huh. Okay, they're calling that a swirl. Not quite sure what a swirl is. I suppose, yeah, there's information here. Lunar swirls. Swirls are sinuous, high reflectance markings co-located with crustal magnetic anomalies. Oh, okay. Interesting. Have no idea how they're made, but yeah, that's kind of interesting. Okay, kind of cool. Wrinkled Ridges. Let's see what the wrinkle.
Tim Robinson, lunar slurs are enigmatic features found across the moon's surface, which are characterized by having a high albedo, appearing optically immature.
Cool. Okay.
Whatever that means.
Well, high albedo means that they're reflecting a lot of light. You know, they're brighter, right? So, for instance, the albedo in this area is higher than here. They're brighter. You know, they're reflecting more light. So yeah, well,
I said high libido.
Yeah, well, it could be that too, but not on this live stream. Okay, well, cool. Okay, so this looks more like a swirly thing, right? That looks like a swirly. Kind of interesting. Yeah. Kind of weird. Kind of weird, just these brighter areas that, at least it says here, they correspond to some kind of a magnetic field too. So, that's kind of cool. All right, let's look and see what these wrinkle ridges are. All these new terms. Okay, wow. So there's a lot of wrinkle ridges. Let's just sort of zoom in on one area here and see if we can identify wrinkle ridges. Oh, okay. Kind of hard to see there. Yeah.
I see a nomenclature under the layers that when you click on that, it shows the names of all this stuff.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just haven't.
It's right at the top on my screen here.
Oh, that's not fair. I want your screen then. Yeah. Is it on the overlays or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, oh, here it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes, right there. Okay. Let's do that really quick. Let's see. I probably have these other things turned on. Oh. No, I guess not. Okay. So, yeah. Well, that's why I didn't see it, because it's right at the top. There we go. Yay. So, yeah, there's Copernicus. Let's see if I was at least close with Clavius. Yeah, I was. Wow. Somehow I remembered that was Clavius down here. But, well, cool. Yeah, so there's Tycho. There's is Tycho the one that has all the big bright rays down here? I'm going to turn that off. I think so. Yeah. Tycho is really, really bright. There's this one over here, which, let's see what that one is. Aristarchus. There's Aristarchus. Cool. Okay. Wow, that's a pretty amazing looking crater. Huh. Sweet. All right. Thanks, Tom, for pointing that out. The obvious things are the things that I always miss. So cool. Cool. Nice. Nice. There's Copernicus again. Archimedes. Nice. What a great tool. You know, what a great tool. All right. I'm gonna keep going with these geologic features. So wrinkled ridges we were sort of looking at here. It almost looks like the wrinkled ridges are found in the mares, in the seas, and not really in these more cratered areas. That's kind of interesting. Pretty cool, though. Wrinkled ridges, lobate scarbs. So there's just a few of those. Lobate scarb. Let's see if they explain what a lobate scarb is. No, they don't explain what those are. That's all right. We'll just go and look at one. Lobate scarb. Huh. Kind of hard to tell exactly. Oh, there. It makes it a little bit more obvious with higher resolution. Cool. Lobate scarbs. So, wow. I mean, one could spend hours and hours and days on this, for sure. I wonder why the Copernican craters are sort of highlighted here. So, Copernican craters, huh? Okay, so what this is saying here is that all these marks seem to be about the same age. About the same age. Some of the youngest ones, highest reflectance. Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. Cool. Pretty nifty. Yeah, what a great site. What a great site. Instrument footprints. Let's see. Clementine was a orbiter from the past. I don't think that Clementine is operating anymore, although I could be wrong about that. It looks like they just have some Clementine data here. Iron oxide abundance. So looking for rust. Ooh. Kind of interesting. Not quite sure what that is supposed to represent. If the brighter areas are where there's more, darker areas are less. We can probably, yeah, that's exactly what that means. So white is high, black is low. Cool. Lots of info here for sure. Wow. I forgot about Grail. Is Grail still running? I don't know. Okay, so this is showing the gravity fields. Cool. It's kind of interesting, huh? That it's that kind of a shape. Not quite sure what Boger gravity is. Boger? Some kind of a model, right? So they take the data and then they throw it into a model. Kind of neat. Let's see what this does. Cool. So yeah, this is just showing various areas of higher and lower gravity, which I guess is just sort of an indication of the amount of stuff, right? 6 to 660. Very cool. There's a gravity gradients. Huh. Gravity gradients. Let's make that really opaque. Huh. So this is showing how the gravitational field is changing, right? So it's a gradient as opposed to the actual gravitational strength. So pretty complicated little place there. I wonder if zooming in sort of increases the resolution at all. Not much. Not much. You can't expect it to be incredibly high res, but pretty looks pretty complicated. Wow, it's an interesting view of the moon there for sure. Change the opacity to sort of see all the features as well. So Lunar Prospector, I think Lunar Prospector is still operational. I can't be sure about that either. So thorium abundances and magnetic field magnitude. That's kind of neat. So this is the strength of the magnetic field. Huh. Doesn't look like it's very complete. Which is why, yeah, I'm not sure if Lunar Prospector is still going or not. Don't remember. Easy enough to find out, I suppose. So cool. And then, yeah, here's a bunch of instruments on the LRO. Don't remember exactly what all these are, but wow, we just get overwhelmed with data here. Oh, let me turn off that. Yeah, this is definitely data overload. Maximum temperatures. So the resolution isn't quite as good as, you know, the image, but kind of interesting. Let's see if they have a scale here. So this is in Kelvin, right? So the brightest areas, all the whites and the reds are warm, and then the blues and the purples are cold, and everything in between. So, but yeah, this is really, really cold, right? I mean, this is in Kelvin. And I guess this is some kind of, I'm looking at the scale here, it's some kind of difference from the mean or from the average. So yeah, that's not an actual
so Venus and Mars, we are actually our panelists and stuff when there's like more than one person and stuff. When there's more than one person, just usually it's not there. And I take it at honor.
Yeah. Let me look at the chat there as well, just so I'm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Venus and Mars. If you want to be on the panel, send me an email, cosmiclettuce@gmail.com, and each and every day I will send you a link that will magically allow you to appear on the panel. I think it'd be great. Yeah, cool. All right, let's keep going here. Wow, I'm noticing that it's 3:15 UTC, so it's early morning for Tim over there.
And Tom and Scott said the Lunar Prospector mission in 1999.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
And I just turned 12.
Which one just turned 12?
Me in 1999 on my birthday.
Oh, I gotcha. I see. Cool. Nice. Anyway, so
and Tom, you like on the spot with that. I was 12 years, just turned 12 when that mission ended.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. I thought I didn't realize that was that long ago. Wow. I must be getting old. All right. Let's see.
And actually, my birthday was on July 31st for sure.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm definitely noticing what time it is, but wow, there's just a lot here. Wow, there's a drawing tool and a search tool. Wow, so you can draw little points. Well, you can. That's pretty cool. Point number one. You can draw like lines and arcs. Whoop. I'm not doing such a good job doing that. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so you can actually make your own little graphics and stuff with this. That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. It's a whole bunch of settings. I guess not a whole bunch, but yeah, you can grab an image, right? Let's. Oh, I've still got that draw tool turned off. How do I turn it all off? Uh-oh. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, okay. Wow. So this is some kind of an elevation thing too. Wow. Yeah, it just goes on and on here. It's pretty amazing. Do that. Okay, now it's off. So you can actually go in here and save an image. That's kind of neat. Let's see if that actually works. Okay, it saves it as a zip file. So let's see. Let's see what's inside of the zip file here. I think I'm able to do this. Well, it's taking its sweet little time.
If you don't have an archive manager on your system, then you pretty much were screwed.
I think I do.
Usually, because usually when you're on Linux-based distributions, it should already come with an archive manager for sure.
Yep. Yeah, I usually do it manually. I've got an unzip function that would allow me just to do it in an easier way. But yeah, we can certainly look at the PNGs here. Yeah, so there it is. Cool. Nice. So that's a nice little tool. Very, very nice. Fantastic. All right. Well, as I said, I've noticed that we're running a little bit long, so I'm going to start moving out here slowly.
Yeah.
This
yeah, I can understand Patrick has a built-in archive extractor, but I like the third-party ones better, like 7-zip or JZip.
that seems to work just fine. Yeah. All right. So I'm freezing up my machine here. So I'm gonna. Well, no, I think we're good. I think I'm sort of back, but I think I'm gonna get out of here for now. It looks like my machine has decided to come back just in time to say see you all very, very soon. I will definitely be back in a little less than 23 hours from now. So really, really glad, that you folks were able to come in. Let me check the chat one more time really quick just to see if anything else is here. I think we are good. All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming in, looking at the moon. I think that spacecraft is doing some excellent stuff, and I think it's supposed to be up there for at least a little while longer. So yeah, expect even more from that guy, for sure. All right, well, take care, everybody, and I will see you again very, very soon. All right, take care, peace, cheers, and all that.
Bye.
I'll see you later. Bye.